Covering the islands of the Bahamas, ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight.
Great evening to all of you. I'm Shanique Miller. This is The Bahamas Tonight National Report. National Security Minister Tommy Turnquest addressing the most talked about issue in the country today, crime. Turnquest disclosed an initiative that are geared toward helping to reduce the incidence of crime and of the government's plans to intensify efforts to fight crime. Fern Carey picks up the story.
The new crime-fighting initiatives come at a time when there is a record number of 103 homicides on the books and when violence, crime and fear of crime is prevalent among residents. It's against this backdrop that Minister of National Security Tommy Turnquest revealed a number of steps moving forward, where he says all stakeholders in the community must do what it takes to get the country back on track.
We must not turn a blind eye to crime, whether drug trafficking, illegal gun possession, murder, robbery, encouragement of illegal immigration, or general lawlessness. We must not be permissive when those close to us commit crimes. We must be prepared, in confidence, to tell the police what we know.
And amidst rising criticism about repeat offenders being granted bail, the National Security Minister had this to say.
We must find ways to convince our courts to keep the criminals in prison. Further action in this regard will be taken when the House of Assembly reconvenes on October 5th with a package of bills that will be presented dealing with the criminal justice system. The government has also provided all the resources required by the police. We have invested in new equipment, technology, and crime-fighting tools, inclusive of manpower and vehicles, to the tune of some $8.5 million.
A major drugs and crime public awareness campaign is also underway with a partnership of former gang leaders. And with a large number of undocumented Haitians living in the Bahamas, the National Security Minister noted that efforts are being made to strengthen our borders.
We have provided additional resources to the Defense Force to intensify patrols of our borders, and we have decentralized the Defense Force with operational bases in Inagua, Grand Bahama, Exuma, Abaco, and soon to be at gunpoint, Ragged Island.
Mr. Turnquest revealed the plan while speaking to executives and members at the Rotary Club of West Nassau's monthly meeting. Meantime, these initiatives are expected to play a major role in combating crime in the country. Fern Carey, ZNS News.
Well, the murder count climbed to 103 overnight, and that's because a victim who was recently shot died in hospital. Police have confirmed that the man shot multiple times above the body at Johnson Terrace, just off Johnson Road, around 4:20 a.m. on Sunday, the 11th of this month, has died. According to police, the man and a female companion, along with a one-year-old toddler, were at home when they were shot. On a related matter, on Monday, police issued a wanted bulletin for 29-year-old Ernest Forrest of Seabreeze and Molly Street in reference to that triple shooting incident at Johnson Terrace off Johnson Road. Well, yesterday, he turned himself in to police accompanied by his attorney. Two former Bahamian police officers are in Turks and Caicos and in jail tonight. They're at the center of a drug bust that happened on September 10th. The haul of marijuana has a street value of $1.9 million. George and Ronald Young are brothers. They were arrested along with 8 Haitian men in Providenciales and had a court appearance this week. Now, the men entered the country on board a boat with a trading of goods license. The charges against them include possession with the intent to supply. The brothers are considered a flight risk, therefore they were denied bail. Their next court appearance is November 4th. Immigration officials intensifying their crackdown on illegal migrants by breaking up their connections to those living right here. Yesterday's illegal entry is believed to have been a boatload of Haitians who managed to vanish into the community before authorities reached the site. The department is concerned that illegal immigrants are able to blend in so quickly into society because they're assisted by residents. Clint Watson is on the story tonight.
If you're going to enter the Bahamas, you enter the right way. Not this way, not illegally.
Director of Immigration Jack Thompson disgusted that scores of foreign nationals are still trying to make their way into the Bahamas illegally versus following the proper channels. Just this past Tuesday night, a Haitian vessel made another illegal landing in South New Providence. By the time authorities were notified, they believe hours later, they were only able to apprehend 3 persons in the South Beach and Pinewood Gardens communities. Interesting enough, though, in that process, they rounded up some 60 other illegals who are already living here. Chief Immigration Officer Peter Joseph says usually they arrive earlier because the public calls right away, but not this time.
The area that the vessel landed, there are no houses in that immediate area. It's just off of the pools. So if persons were coming ashore, there's no habitation going on right there where, say, maybe dogs might be barking, people might see somebody going through their yards, and subsequently they were able to lay low until they can contact necessary persons and have a pickup arranged. We do know from past experience, we've actually found persons who we detained on previous vessels with cell phones in their possessions. And what they normally do is they will activate these phones once they are on land in order to have either friends or family come to pick them up.
And that raises another issue. The department is concerned that illegal immigrants on landfall make their getaway smooth because they're assisted by residents. Director of Immigration Jack Thompson says there is clearly a connection. Thompson reiterated that harboring illegals will not be tolerated.
There are persons who harbor in the name of trying to help them, say they're destituted. Let me get them some clothes. Let me get them from, oh Lord, let me take them in. Well, you know, my view is get them food, get them clothes, but bring them in. You know, do not mix up the Good Samaritan part with harboring and condoning that which is wrong.
Issues like this continue to compound the societal ills we face today. Assistant Director of Enforcement Forrestine Major Smith says there's no clear way of telling how many illegal immigrants enter our communities since that last entry.
Many theories out there with respect to where these persons would have gone. We estimate that the landing might have taken place about 10 p.m. the night before, and that the capacity of the ship is maybe about 100. We estimate that. We're not certain. But we do know that with these vessels, sometimes the capacity is one thing and they really, travel with many more persons than we would imagine.
Clint Watson, ZNS News.
HIV/AIDS and proper care to be the focus in the Haitian community as they make up 25% of the national figure. In the coming weeks, residents will benefit from an initiative, a program that will focus on raising awareness in the community. Fern Carey tells us more.
Health officials say members of the migrant population, especially Creole speakers, are a vulnerable group when it comes to HIV/AIDS prevention and care. And that's why they're reaching out to Haitian leaders to launch a new initiative in that community. It's called Train the Trainers, and it involves training Haitian leaders to educate their countrymen on all aspects of HIV/AIDS. Director of the Bahamas National HIV/AIDS Center is Dr. Perry Gomez.
The better the knowledge amongst this community, the less fear they would have in approaching the healthcare system, because there's a lot of anxiety for people of Creole speaking to approach the healthcare system because of the fear of immigration.
And with Haitians accounting for 25% of the national HIV/AIDS figures, Dr. Gomez says educating them about the disease is pivotal.
The point about this exercise is to increase the knowledge of the people in the community so that we feel there are more people who are not accessing care or accessing care too late. And so if they are familiar with what we are doing with our services, they will more readily present and come earlier than coming in the 11th hour.
Meantime, Dr. Gomez says knowledge is key to reducing the stigma and discrimination associated with the disease.
Our HIV infection can go for as long as 15 years without causing illness. And that is why we use the slogan, Know Your Status, because you can be HIV positive for as long as 15 years and not be sick. But in the meantime, you're transmitting it. If you don't know, you will be transmitting it. So that's the origins of the phrase, know your status. And if you know you're positive, then you would seek care.
The Train the Trainers workshops will begin next month. Fern Carey, ZNS News.